In a world full of unexpected moments, security cameras have become an integral part of our lives, capturing everything from mundane activities to extraordinary events. However, every now and then, they also capture moments that send shivers down our spines, moments where lives hang in the balance. In this spine-chilling video, we will delve into the realm of close calls caught on security cameras. Get ready to witness heart-pounding footage and explore the thin line between disaster and miraculous escape as we delve into these gripping close calls. Number 11. Man escapes death after crane falls on car. A man in Zhuhai City, China had a narrow escape on October 17, 2017 when a crane fell from a nearby construction site and landed on his car. The man was driving his Audi on his way to work when the crane fell. The crane landed on the front of the car, crushing the hood and windshield. The man was able to escape from the car with only a broken ankle. The crane fell from a nearby construction site that was under construction. It is not clear why the crane fell, but it is possible that it was due to strong winds or operator error. The man is lucky to be alive. He is a reminder that even the most routine journeys can be turned upside down by a moment of carelessness or bad luck. We should all be grateful for our safety and take steps to mitigate risks whenever possible. Number 10. Delivery truck bursts into flames. A delivery truck burst into flames in Meizhou, China, on May 16, 2021. The driver was carrying furniture across the city when the truck bed caught fire. Luckily, he was driving by the fire station when the fire started. He sped to the fire station and drove straight into the bay. The firefighters were alerted to the fire and sprang into action. They put out the fire in under 90 seconds, but the cargo was a total loss. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but it is possible that the furniture was recently painted and the paint was still wet. Something may have caused the paint to catch fire, such as a spark from the engine or a cigarette butt. The driver of the truck was not injured. He is grateful to the firefighters for their quick response and for saving his truck. He is also grateful that he was driving by the fire station when the fire started. Number 9. Arson suspect caught on camera at fireworks store. On July 4, 2022, 3 men set fire to a fireworks store in an attempt to steal merchandise. The incident occurred at approximately 10:30 p.m. at the Fireworks Extravaganza store in San Antonio, Texas. Security camera footage shows the 3 men entering the store. 2 of the men walked to the back of the store, while the third man, wearing a Jade Vian Clowny jersey, approaches the shelves of fireworks. He lights a firework and drops it on the ground, causing a small fire. The 2 men in the back of the store then rush out of the store, followed by the man in the Clowny jersey. 2 employees of the store attempted to put out the fire with their feet, but it was too dangerous. A third employee, wearing a green shirt, returned a few moments later with a fire extinguisher and put out the fire. The arsonists made off with approximately $200 worth of fireworks. The fire did not cause any significant damage to the store. Police released the security camera footage in an attempt to identify the suspects. About a month later, one of the men was caught and charged with arson. The other 2 suspects are still at large. Number 8. Air Canada Flight 759, the near miss that changed aviation history. Landing a plane is a complex and delicate operation that requires the coordination of many different factors. Even when everything goes according to plan, there is always the potential for a mistake. On July 7, 2017, Air Canada Flight 759 narrowly avoided disaster when it landed on the wrong runway at San Francisco International Airport. The flight was coming in from Toronto Pearson International Airport and was cleared to land on runway 28R. However, the pilots mistakenly lined up with an adjacent taxiway that was occupied by 4 other planes waiting to take off. The Air Canada flight was only about 100 feet above the ground when the pilots realized their mistake and aborted the landing. The plane passed just 60 feet above the second plane in line, which is incredibly close for 2 commercial airplanes. Thankfully, no one was injured in the incident. The plane circled around and landed safely on the correct runway. However, the near miss was a major wake-up call for the aviation industry. It highlighted the importance of pilot training and communication, as well as the need for better safety procedures. Number 7. Landslides can swallow entire neighborhoods. Landslides can be devastating, swallowing entire neighborhoods in their wake. In a recent incident in a favela outside Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, residents barely escaped with their lives as their homes were destroyed by a landslide. The landslide started when a building began to slide, dragging everything in its path with it, including streetlights and neighboring houses. Soon, the entire road collapsed, causing a complex across the street to slide away as well. People rushed to inspect the damage, but for many, all they could do was watch in horror as their homes were swallowed by the landslide. Thankfully, no one was killed in the incident. In a similar close call, a woman in Chongqing, China, escaped death when she heard a retaining wall collapsing behind her and quickly turned her scooter around to avoid being crushed. The woman was turning her scooter around when she heard something fall off the wall. Whatever it was, she didn't like it, so she tried turning around to go back the way she came. Someone else approaches when she's about halfway. That's when the wall starts leaning toward them. We imagine it made a cracking sound, which caught her attention. She dropped the bike and practically tackled the other person out of the way seconds before the wall came down. Aftermath footage shows how bad the collapse was. Thanks to her quick feet, she's alive to tell the story. Number 6. Sinkhole swallow trucks and scooters in China. 2 sinkholes opened up in China in November 2019, swallowing a truck and a scooter. The first sinkhole occurred in Anqi County, Fujian Province, on November 28. A yellow truck was driving down the road when its right tires fell through the ground. The sinkhole expanded and nearly swallowed the entire truck. 2 shopkeepers watched in astonishment, not knowing what to do next. The sinkhole was about 32 feet long and 16 feet wide. It was caused by local shopkeepers who filled in a height difference between the road and their shops with concrete. The DIY project was not strong enough to support the weight of the truck, and the sinkhole opened up. The second sinkhole occurred in Yuanping, Shaanxi Province, on November 30. A scooter rider and pedestrian were walking down the road when the road suddenly collapsed beneath them. Both men jumped out of the way in time, but the scooter was not so lucky. It fell into the sinkhole, which was about 10 feet deep. The sinkhole in Yuanping was caused by water leaking from a sewer pipe. The water weakened the ground beneath the road, causing it to collapse. The sinkhole was filled in later that day. These sinkholes are a reminder of the dangers of ground instability. They can occur anywhere, but they are more common in areas with weak soil or poor drainage. If you see a sinkhole, it is important to stay away from it and report it to the authorities. Number 5. Tuk-tuk driver narrowly escapes collapsing wall in Nanning. A tuk-tuk driver in Nanning, China had a narrow escape on May 27, 2023 when an old brick wall collapsed right after he passed by. The wall, which was built in the 1960s, had deteriorated over the years due to rain and wind. On the day of the collapse, the wind picked up slightly as the tuk-tuk driver was passing by, and the wall gave way. The driver was only about 20 feet away when the wall fell, but he was able to escape unharmed. Local reports said that the wall collapsed due to neglect and lack of maintenance. The tropical climate of eastern China is prone to wind and monsoons, which can put old brick walls at risk of collapse. This incident is a reminder of the importance of maintaining infrastructure, especially in areas that are prone to natural disasters. It is also a reminder of the dangers of driving near old, dilapidated buildings. Number 4. Gas stove safety, pros, cons, and hazards. Gas stoves are popular among many cooks for their fast and precise heating. However, they also come with some risks that require extra caution. A recent incident in Fuzhou, China, on December 6, 2019, illustrates the danger of gas leaks and how to avoid them. A mother was cooking dinner on a gas stove when her pot suddenly burst into flames. She quickly turned off the gas valve, but the fire did not stop. She realized that there was a gas leak somewhere and grabbed her child to escape. They managed to get out of the house just before a huge explosion rocked the building. Fortunately, no one was seriously injured and the fire did not spread to other houses. This video shows the dramatic moment of the blast and the aftermath. The lesson from this incident is clear: never leave a gas stove unattended, and always check for signs of gas leaks. Another interesting fact is that electric stoves are actually more likely to cause fires and injuries than gas stoves, according to the National Fire Protection Association, NFPA. Number 3. Construction worker scales pillar to escape death from high-rise building. A A construction worker in an unknown location narrowly escaped death after dangling hundreds of feet from a high-rise building. The worker was working on the side of the building when something toppled over, forcing him to fall. He managed to grab onto a pillar and hang on for dear life. His coworker rushed down to call for help, but the worker knew he had to act fast. He scaled around the pillar and jumped to the next floor. He landed safely and immediately paced back and forth, likely in shock. The experience must have put his entire life in perspective. Redditors commented on the worker's climbing ability. The way he grabbed and navigated around the pillar suggested he had some sort of climbing background. Others praised his quick thinking and bravery. This incident is a reminder of the dangers of working in high-rise construction. Even experienced workers can be caught in accidents, and it is important to always take safety precautions. This worker was lucky to escape with his life, and he is a reminder that we should never take our safety for granted. Number 2. Biker saved from train by Good Samaritan in Czech Republic. A biker in the Czech Republic was saved by a Good Samaritan after he was clotheslined by a railroad crossing arm and landed on the tracks. The biker, identified as Yeti Dushka, was riding his motorcycle to the local grocery store when he was blinded by the sun as he came over a hill. He did not see the railroad crossing arm and was hit by it, knocking him and his motorcycle to the ground. A Good Samaritan, identified as Dalibor Vobornik, was at the railroad crossing waiting for a train. He heard the loud bang of the crossing arm hitting the biker and saw what had happened. He immediately sprang into action and dragged the biker and his motorcycle off the tracks just seconds before a train arrived. The biker suffered only a few scrapes and bruises, thanks to Vobornik's quick thinking and bravery. Vobornik said that he arrived at the station about 2 hours earlier than normal that day. He usually wears headphones and stands at the other end of the platform, but on that day he was standing at the front and wasn't listening to anything. That's when he heard the loud bang and sprung into action. Dushka said that he was very grateful to Vobornik for saving his life. He said that he would have been killed if Vobornik had not been there. This incident is a reminder of the importance of being alert at railroad crossings. Even if you are familiar with the crossing, it is important to always pay attention to the signals and to never assume that a train is not coming. Number 1. California wildfire forces family to evacuate home in Santa Clarita. A family in Santa Clarita, California was forced to evacuate their home on October 27, 2019, as a massive wildfire raged nearby. The fire, which was later named the Tick Fire, began near Tick Canyon Road on October 24 and quickly spread. By October 27, it had burned over 4,600 acres and was threatening 10,000 homes and buildings. The family's doorbell camera captured footage of the high-anxiety state before they evacuated. In the video, the parents can be seen packing their belongings while their young son runs outside to grab his toys and stuffed animals. One of the toys even falls while he's packing the truck, but he is able to quickly recover it. The video ends with a plane flying overhead. The plane is either evacuating people or spraying the ground with flame retardant. The Tick Fire forced 40,000 other people to evacuate in the Santa Clarita Valley. It was eventually contained on Halloween of 2019, but not before destroying 150 homes and damaging another 200. The family in the video was lucky to escape with their home and belongings intact. They are one of many families who have been affected by California's wildfires in recent years. These fires are becoming more and more common, and they are a reminder of the importance of being prepared for an evacuation. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.